Steph Curry standing at the three-point range is a beautiful thing. He's so sensational at making consistent threes and, unsurprisingly, holds the record for the most made threes in NBA history as well. It's even more insane when Steph's dunking those no-look threes. In today's video, we'll take a look at how Curry came about the idea of the no-look three. Along with that, some predictions about leading three-pointers for the season. Starting with Steph's three-point story. It's like Allen Iverson's hesitation or Kobe Bryant's fadeaway jumper. You know what's coming, but you're just honored to witness greatness firsthand. Dub Nation in particular has grown accustomed to watching Steph do it more often than not, and it's beautiful. Unlike some other moves from NBA history, it's not easy to master or learn. Plus, the pressure of not making the three and celebrating before it goes in is just too high. In today's world, you're bound to become an instant meme. And God knows there have been some players guilty of doing just that. But the question is, how did Steph come about the move? Do you remember the first time when Steph did that? Well, let's refresh your memory. The first time Curry decided to be arrogant, and he's one of the few players who can be arrogant given his success, was back in 2013 playing against the Denver Nuggets in the first playoff series. Steph remembers the moment better than us, of course. In his own words, it was sometime in the third quarter, and he mentions how he went on one of those crazy runs and he had like 20 plus points in the quarter. The sharpshooter mentions how he always heard tales of Oracle Arena being super loud in playoffs, and it was the first time he experienced it. He added that he got wrapped up in the atmosphere, and with everything going on around him, he just let one fly, turning around as soon as the ball left his hands. Adding to that, Steph's out-of-body experience. It's obvious that Denver's bench had gotten inside Curry's head. They were mocking him. It was a terrible decision because Steph was on fire. In fact, Curry even remembers what happened at that very moment. He revealed that JaVale McGee was standing up with 5 or 6 guys around him, and just as he received the ball in the corner and rose to take the shot, the Nuggets continuously talked trash behind him. Steph says that he got an out-of-body experience as soon as he shot it, and he believes the feeling was, "I've never felt a shot feel better than that." Well, if the greatest shooter of all time feels that way, it's definitely going in. And as we all know, the rest is history. Curry turned back as soon as the ball left his hands, and he looked at JaVale before running off, knowing that it was definitely going in. Imagine being that good. It got even better because the entire crowd behind him let him know that the ball had gone in and he didn't need to turn. The recently crowned Finals MVP mentions how it was a really special moment. We're sure it was. He went on to exclaim that he surprised himself with that irrational confidence to even try it. Yeah, we can't imagine that, and let alone doing it in a playoff game. He sums it all up by saying it was dope, and we definitely agree. So does the Dub Nation, but it's not always that magical, is it? Followed by Steph addressing the times he's missed the no-look. Well, even the GOAT of shooting can miss sometimes. There's no shame in it. Of course, if someone else attempts and misses, it's more shameful because they are already copying it. But even for Curry, it has happened. Talking on the same podcast, The Old Man and Three, the 34-year-old explained that he has flaunted shots that didn't go in, but he had a huge smile on his face when he said it. That's the look of a person who isn't afraid to do it again, and he doesn't fear missing them either. He concludes that he's sure someone can find all those shots and make a YouTube compilation. Moving on, let's predict the best three-point shooters of the 2022-23 season. It's only fair that in a video about Steph and three-point shooting, we also take a look at the current season and the best shooters from the range. But the question is, who will be crowned the three-point king this season? There are many candidates, and you can join the discourse too in the comments section. First up, Stephen Curry. Well, obviously, we have to start with the current leader and the greatest three-point shooter of all time. Steph Curry's having an insane season, and he's averaging 31.4 points per game. While the Warriors struggle, Steph seems to be the only reason they're still afloat and have managed to somehow turn their season around in the last few games. In terms of percentage, Steph's 20th in the league with a three-point shooting percentage of 44.1%. That might not seem like much, but he's been shooting more than most of the players ahead of him on the list. More importantly, he's already connected on almost 100 occasions. That means he's already scored 98 three-pointers, and he leads the list by a long distance as well. Barring any injuries, it wouldn't be any surprise if Steph Curry makes the most three-pointers by the end of the season. After that, Klay Thompson. If not for his injuries, Klay Thompson could have run Steph close to the three-point crown, but having lost 2 consecutive seasons of his prime, the chances are very low for Thompson to overtake his teammate in the all-time list of three-pointers made. However, he could very much challenge him this season. Having played 2 games fewer than his teammate and nearly 150 minutes less, Thompson sank 66 three-pointers. We're sure if his numbers were similar to Curry, he'd be the second on this season's list, but he's currently 6th. His shooting percentage is the 3rd best in the league among the top 10 players with the most 3 points. Thompson's ability from the range has never been in doubt, and it wouldn't surprise us if he comes close to Curry's lead or even surpasses him as the season progresses. Again though, all that is possible only if Thompson can stay injury-free. In fact, he was the reason the Warriors kept their ascendancy in their recent outing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, when Klay came up with a couple of clutch 3-pointers to shut down a Timberwolves comeback when Steph was uncharacteristically missing a few in the final quarter. Also, Buddy Hield, one of the best 3-point shooters not named Steph or Klay, is Buddy Hield. The Pacers' sharpshooter has always earned himself a reputation for being a beast from the range. His percentage this season from the 3-point range isn't great at 37.4%, but he's already connected on 70 occasions, the 3rd most in the league. Of course, it helps given he's played a lot of minutes, and Hield's also told the Lakers that he's available should they need a shooter. That's confidence right there. Plus, if he makes the move to LA, his numbers are bound to increase because the Lakers will be fully dependent on his shooting. Up next, Malik Beasley. A surprise entry on the list is Malik Beasley. Having a career 3-point shooting that hovers around the 38% mark isn't impressive, but he's been on fire since joining the Utah Jazz. They look like a rejuvenated team, and one of the contributing factors has been Beasley's impact from the range. He's currently made the 2nd most 3 points in the league on 41.1% shooting. That's genuinely impressive, but he hasn't played many minutes, and that remains the only doubt about him. How will he fare when he has the responsibility of knocking them down from range? Either way, his ferocious start to the season earns him a place on this list. Also, Donovan Mitchell. Not a surprise entry at all. Donovan Mitchell is enjoying life in Cleveland. He's already earning some MVP shouts thanks to a blistering start to life with the Cavaliers. And one of the reasons behind his success has been his very impressive shooting. He's made 73 pointers on 41.7% shooting, which is genuinely so good. And given he spends a lot of time on the floor, it shows that he's doing great with the pressure of leading the team too. Finally, some other candidates. Kyrie Irving called Yuta Watanabe the best shooter in the league. Statistically, in terms of percentage, it's not wrong. The Japanese is connecting with the net at a staggering 57.1% from the range. It's very impressive, but he isn't shooting nearly enough to be officially in the conversations. The likes of Kevin Huerter and Jeremy Grant are in the same boat, but if they can keep this consistency up for another handful of games, there's no reason why they can't be up there with the very best. Also, despite injuries, Damian Lillard, Trae Young, and Fred VanVleet also deserve a shout because of their phenomenal career record. That's a wrap for this video. Who do you think will lead the 3-points list at the end of the season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.